I have a few prepared comments here. The concept of person is closely tied to legal and political concepts such as citizenship, equality, and liberty that Megan also referred to. Today, depending on the context, the theory or definition, the category of person may be taken to include such non-human entities as animals, corporations, artificial intelligence, or extraterrestrial life, and may include some human and it may exclude some human entities as prenatal development, or those with extreme mental impairments or injuries. So we have to be careful, see the spectrum of how the term is to be defined and understood. The philosopher Thomas White, I can't help but bring in one philosopher at least in my discussion, argues that the criteria of a person are as follows. He has a list of 8. One is, when we talk about a person, philosophically speaking, the person has to be alive, is self-aware. Awareness is a characteristic. Feels positive and negative sentiments. Has emotions. Has a sense of self, that I am who I am, and I recognize the other. Controls its own behavior. Exercise of free will. Okay. Recognizes other persons and treats them appropriately. And has a variety of sophisticated cognitive abilities. These are the criteria that a philosopher has put forward, and if you look through the history of philosophy for the last 2,500 years, I'm talking about Western philosophy because that's the context in which we are discussing this. For the last 2,500 years, philosophers have tried to come up with the criteria of how do we define what a person is. And it has other implications too. But from the perspective of what we are discussing tonight, I want to limit our discussion to just that part. While many of the criteria that I just listed may seem anthropocentric, some animals such as dolphins would be considered persons in some context. And some have argued, for example, when we refer to our pets, we say he or she. Now that might be an idea that we are just identifying their gender, but also we treat them with attributes that we often associate with people. Having said that, now we go to the issue at hand. Are corporations good citizens? Citizenship, once again, is a legal and political concept.